Hello my friends, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. This is a super exciting video. Didn't think it was gonna be, but it is. So today we're gonna talk about the Caffeine Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Caffeine Concealer and Foundation. I was super intrigued by this. One, I love coffee, and two, sometimes Marc Jacobs products can be the bomb diggity. Yes, I just said that. So we've got a lot to talk about with this foundation because I am literally bubbling with information and excitement to share this with you. So if you're interested in seeing how this foundation slash concealer worked for me and if it may work for you, if it's worth you picking up, then just keep on watching. So let's just dive right into this. So the box, first off, is, and you may have already watched reviews on this, but the box is super enticing. Like, it is all the feels of a good, warm, hot cup of coffee. It's so pretty, and I love the concept. I love the concept of, well, I love coffee, but mixing in makeup and coffee. I don't know, something about this was just super appealing to me, and yeah, I knew I wanted to pick it up. So the box is so pretty. For reference, I do want to give you a couple of pieces of information. It does have a 12-month shelf life. It is made in France. Ooh la la. And then it says on the box, conceal and perfect caffeine infused creamy full coverage. And that is that. Let's just go ahead and take you real quick into the bottle. It's so pretty. It's so luxe. It's frosted. It's got the gold cap. Something about this is just so eye-catching. Like, I just want to eat it up or something. It's frosted and beautiful. It's everything I would have hoped. So for reference, you do get 0.54 fluid ounces of product. It is a foundation slash concealer. So you're kind of getting the halfway point of a normal 1 ounce bottle of foundation, but yet you're getting more than the normal concealer amount. And that's because it's that hybrid 2-in-1, which some brands have already done. It's not a new concept, but for me, it's never worked out before. It's just kind of been a very miss product because I do like to use it as a dual, and it ends up, because it's more on the concealer side, it ends up being very drying as a foundation, all of that. But anyways, just so beautiful. And that is how much product you get. So let me just tell you real quick what the Sephora website has as far as the description. For reference, it is $39, so a little bit less than what you'd pay for a luxury foundation. But yet you kind of still, again, get the 2-in-1, but you're getting less foundation than what you would usually get. It's a 2-in-1 caffeine infused concealer and foundation with natural looking full coverage and all day wear to visibly brighten and re-energize all skin types. Fake the extra sleep with a flawless finish. I mean, if you can fake looking like you slept really great, then that's always a plus. This hydrating, crease resistant formula blends seamlessly to quickly conceal dark circles, blemishes, and redness. With an oversized applicator for quick all-over coverage, it works double time as a buildable foundation for a visibly smoother, more even-toned complexion. So that is that. For reference, this did come out with a couple of other products in the cafe lineup, which I passed on those because Marc Jacobs powder products, as far as face powder products, can kind of be hit or miss. The Omega bronzer, beautiful, but yet their highlighters, not so much. They kind of dissipate within the hour. So I did end up passing on those. This for me was the highlight of the show. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into a demo so that we can put this foundation on together so that you can see real time how it works on me. For reference, I did pick up the shade Light 150. It was the light neutral tone. I would have gone for a light medium neutral. I don't think there was one. And whenever there are, and I can't remember if there was one for sure or not, but I will say whenever there is not a very wide range of shades, which I think there's 30 in this shade range, but when there's not like 40 or 50, I tend to go for the light neutral because the light medium ends up being a little too deep. Light medium is perfect for me when the shade range is so broad that truly is like, you know, light would be too light. But anywho, in this case, I did opt for the light 150, which is the neutral undertone, in case you are wondering. So let's go ahead and put this on together. Let's have a little fun. Let's chat a little bit of makeup, and then we will talk final thoughts afterwards.
So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. This is my tried and true. So anytime I'm using a newer foundation, which in this case I know how the foundation performs, but anytime I'm using a newer foundation, I like to use this primer because I know that I can't go wrong with it. It always smooths, it always makes my skin look so flawless, and if something goes wrong with the foundation, I know it's the foundation and not the primer. But I will say that this primer goes hand in hand amazingly with this foundation. So moving on to the concealer slash foundation, so amazing. I'm already going to spoil it for y'all. This thing is incredible. So I am in the shade Light 150. It is the light neutral tone. And it does come with a doe foot applicator, so I am going to do what I would typically do with a foundation and just dot it all over my face. Now this is supposed to be a medium to full coverage, or actually full coverage foundation. I find it to be more on the medium spectrum, but I always prefer to not go in with too much. I'd rather build up if necessary, and the amount that you see on my face now is actually perfect for my skin type, granted. I don't have a lot of acne scarring and things like that, but it's, you know, you could just go in with a little bit more if you have more to cover. I'm using a Morphe sponge. I find that if I'm not using the Beauty Blender, the Morphe sponges are the best, like, second option. Okay, so kind of want to show you, I do have a little spot there I'm hoping you can see, and then as far as my under eyes, you can tell they're not fully covered, so this isn't my favorite for concealer coverage. So I'm going in with my Pat McGrath concealer in the shade LM9, and just going to use that for my under eye coverage. For this product, it's a double duty. You can use it as both in a pinch. For me, I'm going to enjoy using it as my foundation. I like to let my concealer dry a little bit, get a little tacky. It provides more coverage, so that's why you see me waiting just a while. Using that same sponge, I'm just going to blend that concealer out. I'm not taking it too far, like away from my under eyes, because really the foundation, I love how it looks. So I don't need a lot of coverage in other areas aside from my immediate under eye area. So let's go ahead and go in with setting powder. For today I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way powder. This is also an amazing tried and true. Now granted, my favorite is the Huda Easy Bake Setting powder, but I'm really trying to rotate out my powders right now. So I am using the Too Faced. I have found that this just gives me a good, it doesn't look super matte. And that's what I like about it. So just gonna set my under eyes with this and set the rest of my face. I also find that with this foundation, or with this product, I guess I should say, since it's not just foundation, it's concealer, but I also find that this powder doesn't make it look cakey. It just gives it that more flawless airbrush look, which the product already has that, but the powder doesn't add like another layer that makes it look cakey and gross. So let's move into bronzer. I'm using kind of a little duo fiber brush type thing, and I'm going to go in with the Ilia bronzer. It's in the shade Drawn In. It's specifically called the Nightlite bronzing powder. Now I love this powder so much. Now I'm going in with a few layers only because with bronzer I like to do the same thing as foundation. I like to build it up because there are times where I go too heavy with the bronzer and then it just ends up looking a little bit splotchy and a little bit deeper in some areas and not others. So just kind of layering that in the normal areas where I would lay down some bronzer. All right, so I don't typically go in with like a smaller brush. For my nose, I use my same bronzer brush just to kind of add that little bit of warmth. Going in with my blush and highlight, we're going to use the Natasha Denona Love Glow Cheek Palette, and I'm going to go in with the blush shade from this palette, not the cream, but the powder. Now, it didn't really fully go with the eye look, but that's okay. It still added a beautiful glow. What I have found, now granted, looking back, I probably should have used a cream blush so that you could see how this product plays with different types of products like creams. But I have found that this product works really well pretty much with everything, to include cream products. It lays down really nicely, it doesn't lift, it just looks really nice. But anywho, just using a powder bronzer or powder blush that looks extra glowy and adding a couple of layers on that. So I do think that this shade looks slightly light on me, but for reference, there aren't enough shades to warrant me going into the light medium. So that's why it's looking slightly light, but nothing we can't work around. Going in with the highlighter that's in this same palette, and I'm going to go in with a couple of layers of this product. Now, I guess I could mention this later on, but I'm going to mention it now. When adding products to this foundation, or when you use this as a foundation, it all melts into the skin so nicely. So it's not like, you know how you use a setting spray to kind of blend it all together and make it look seamless. I find that I don't even need a spray to make it look like it all came together. It all just sinks in so nicely. It's not sitting over top of the foundation. All of the products I've used with this concealer foundation product just seem to really melt in and go on so smoothly and so nicely. So I was actually going to do this off camera, but I decided to keep the footage of my lipstick on here just because I figured I would likely get questions of what I was using. So I am using the Huda Beauty lip liner in, it's called a lip contour, but it's a lip liner in the shade Trophy Wife. I'm not only lining my lips with this, but I am filling in a bit because we're going to go in with a Fenty Balm over top, just to add a little bit of a glossy effect. So that's what is the lip color. And then I'll let you know here shortly what the Fenty product is. So this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Kisser Luscious Lip Balm in the shade Pinch Me. It goes so well over top of lip liner. It looks so luscious and so juicy that I've really been enjoying using it lately. Last but certainly not least, we're going to go in with setting spray, even though, like I mentioned, it's almost like an unnecessary step, but I almost feel incomplete if I don't use setting spray these days, and so I'm using the Rare Beauty spray, just spraying it all over, just drying it a little bit. I need to get me one of those little fans because I'm literally about to use a napkin to dry my face. This is the finished look, you guys. This product is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful and I am so impressed.
All right, so it's time to get to the really good part, which is I'm just excited to tell you what I think about this product. And quite frankly, I mean, this foundation slash concealer is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I used this for Valentine's Day. I had already used it a couple of times before, so I knew I wanted it to be my Valentine's Day dinner foundation, which we went to Valentine's dinner a couple days early. And I locked it down with the Charlotte Tilbury spray, the setting spray. I have not had that good of a foundation makeup day in, I can't tell you how long. Now, granted, I love the Rare Beauty foundation. I really love how natural and beautiful it makes my skin look. but this takes it to a whole nother level. I can't even tell you. The first thought that came to my mind the first time that I used it was, wow, this makes my skin look really creamy. And not creamy in tone, just like the texture, just the smoothness. That's the first thing I could think of was, wow, I look so creamy. Later on, I came to read the description on the Sephora website and I'm like, okay, so creamy is one of the descriptions they have in there. For me, it's just absolutely, I was so mind blown with how it smoothed my pores. I was like, how is this even possible? I have not had like non-existent pores for, I don't know, as far back as I can remember, quite frankly. I will tell you, as the day wore on, it did start to show a little bit of my pores. It wasn't completely seamless the entire day, but the wear was absolutely beautiful the entire day. It's so airbrushed looking, like I said, creamy, it's smooth, it's not drying. Now, what I will tell you though about this product is meant to be conceal and foundation. I don't like it for conceal because it doesn't completely cover my under eye circles. It does claim to be a full coverage foundation. However, it is, I would consider it to be medium to full, like on the early spectrum of full, whatever I'm trying to say, but I think you know what I mean. Like definitely medium coverage, maybe entering into full, but not necessarily totally full coverage. And I say that again because I don't find that it completely covers my under eye circles. There's a couple of little marks I have on my face that I don't find it completely covers those either. That's totally fine because I actually would prefer to use this as a foundation than a concealer. I've got plenty of concealers, a couple that are my absolute top favorites, which I used the Pat McGrath for today's look. And so you know, people might say, well, you're going to go through it faster and it's actually more expensive than just buying a foundation because you get less. And if you're going to be using it that frequently, then you're going to go through it faster. Not the coverage, but the look that it gives my skin, I am hands down okay with that. I would repurchase this and repurchase and repurchase for how beautiful it makes my skin look. Everything goes on so smoothly. Cream products, powder products, my blush, my bronzer, my highlight. It just sets down so pretty. And in fact, I don't feel like I even have to use a setting spray to blend it all together, to just make it look seamless. It's almost like it looks like that before I even add my setting spray. So let me give you a quick swatch because you saw it on my face, but I kind of want to give it, give you a swatch on my hand just so that you have an idea. So yes, this one is slightly light for my skin tone, but again, anything more would have been too deep. And so I bronze it up as you saw, and it just looks so good. Just again, easy to work with. The longevity is absolutely wonderful. And I can test a makeup product like the best of them because I usually put my foundation on at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it ain't coming off till about 6 o'clock in the evening. So for me, it is a very good wear test of, the longevity, if it breaks up, if it just starts to look kind of meh. And this all day. All day. It looks like I just did my makeup at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Absolutely mind blown. I have not been over the moon like this. Now, granted, again, I love my Rare Beauty foundation. That one took me a couple of tries to fall in love with it. This was absolutely love upon first use, and I have used it multiple times since then, and I love it so, so much. So again, if you're looking for it from a concealer aspect or point of view, I don't know, like depends on how deep your under eye circles are that you may want to pass. But if you are looking for either a double duty kind of thing, like the foundation concealer aspect, you don't have severely dark under eye circles like I do, which I didn't used to. I feel like 2020 brought the under eye circles, or if you just want to use it as a foundation. Also, it's it's a heavyweight bottle, but it's smaller, it's skinnier than a typical foundation bottle. So if you're looking maybe for travel, this is kind of perfect too. I love the wand. A lot of people don't because of the hygiene, whatever. But for me, I love the wand. It's so easy. It's so, I don't have to pump it on my hand, get my fingers dirty, which is so minimalistic. I feel like that is such it's not even a valid complaint. It's not even a complaint, but it's just kind of one of those things, an added step that I don't have to do. And that literally is what it is. So good. As far as it, having that caffeine to kind of brighten your face, absolutely. I feel like I look refreshed, like I look super perky, like I look energetic. What else can I say about this epic foundation. I don't know. But I feel like now that I've put it out in the universe, I feel like it's going to be one of those things that gets discontinued. So I'm going to have to pick up 2 or 3 bottles of it. So amazing. If you've been on the fence, absolutely try it out. I think $39 is a very decent price point for Marc Jacobs. Take the plunge, try it out. I don't think you'll be sorry. Alrighty guys, before I let you go, want to give you a quick verse of the day. Before I do that, I would just ask that if you enjoyed this video that you give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much, you guys. And honestly, I've been this year, the last couple months, I've been on the struggle bus with YouTube. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if people aren't getting notifications. I don't know if I don't know. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, it's so helpful and appreciated. And if you're new, I would love it if you would subscribe and stay a while, be a part of this YouTube family. It would just bring my heart so much joy to see you here again, be able to chat makeup with you, spend time with you, and I hope you'll consider it. Before I let you go, again, want to give you a very quick verse of the day. It comes from Hebrews 6:19, and it says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul." That hope being Jesus. I know we live in crazy times, and I'm not trying to shove anything down your throat. You're more than welcome to click off. But it is always my joy to bring you some sort of encouragement for the day. And if you are in a place of hopelessness, of despair, please know there is a hope out there. You know, some people pass off, you know, like depression, anxiety, mental, you know, difficulties as kind of a casual thing. I will tell you, my husband, he doesn't have an anxious nerve in his body, and I'm a very anxious person, even though the Bible says don't be anxious about anything. But for me, I do struggle with that quite frequently, actually. So, but there is a hope. I have a hope, and his name is Jesus, and I can't live without that hope. He is absolutely amazing. So it's my prayer for you that if you don't already know him as your Lord and Savior, as your very hope, as the anchor for your soul, that he would make himself known to you, very real to you, that you would feel his peace, that it would just absolutely just come upon you as a peace and a comfort that you've never experienced before. If you need prayer, I will throw up a phone number so that you can give them a call. There is a prayer line. In case you need to pour out your heart to somebody, you've got something you need prayer for, whatever the case may be. It's there for you. You can use it or not. Jot it down for whenever you might need it. I don't know, but it's free, no application, of course. It's just, I just want to offer that help, that option. Alrighty, my friends. Well, thank you again for stopping by, spending some time with me today. I will see you in the next video. So please, until the next one, stay safe and stay well. Remember that I love you. I truly do. I mean that from the heart. But Jesus loves you so very much more. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.